Okay, so we've got a super exciting and exclusive interview for you all now, and this is such a treat. We're pleased to welcome Mia and Liz, stars of the critically acclaimed boy band Christmas musical, Chriskirkpatrickmas, currently dazzling audiences with a five-star rating from The Guardian in London's West End. Guys, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Thank you
guys.
for having
Thank you
us.
so much.
We're so thrilled to have you guys on the show. I mean, just anything related to NSYNC just captures our attention, and the fact that you guys are over here in London and doing something for a UK audience is just amazing. So thank you so much for joining us and coming on to our first show today. Of course, you know, we've got you on here because of Chriskirkpatrickmas, I just explained. We've aware that you've had the show over in the UK before. You were up at the Edinburgh Fringe, and you've been in the BBC this week with an article reviewing the show. I think where I'd love to start, though, is, I guess, to hear about the show in your own words. So for the benefit of our audience, they can understand a little bit about what the show is about. So if you could give us a description of what people can expect to see from the show.
Absolutely. So the show is It's a Wonderful Life meets A Christmas Carol meets NSYNC. So it's Christmas Eve, and Chris Kirkpatrick really wants NSYNC to reunite. Who doesn't? So
It's 2009 too.
yes, it's Christmas Eve 2009. That's where we take you. And he's guided on a journey, and he learns a lot about life.
And whether or not the band gets back together, you'll find out. You already know they don't.
We already know, yeah.
They don't. It's heartbreaking, and I'm so mad about it. I'm Liz, by the way, and that's Mia.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds fantastic. I mean, what's the origin of the show? Like, how did this idea come up with? Like, NSYNC is such a special topic to our hearts, but equally quite a unique topic. So, how did the idea come about? And what's the origin? We know the origin of NSYNC so well. What's the origin of Chriskirkpatrickmas?
Yeah, so the show was created by Alison Zada and Valen Shore, who also perform in the show. Valen plays Chris, and Alison plays the angel.
Yeah, the
The
angel.
angel.
The angel.
They came up with the idea like 10 years ago.
It was a joke. They started off as a practical joke, I believe.
That's how I
that
understand
they thought it would be like, no one ever talks about Chris
it. Mhm.
of NSYNC and just how
Oh,
you must want the band to get back together. And I think it became a volleying back and forth over 10 years. And Valen is a composer. They both wrote the book and the story. And they're also like very good friends. They have this psychic connection, which we all know NSYNC fans already have, right?
absolutely.
They have all these inside jokes that NSYNC fans will really love. And I think that was also fun for them, is to sprinkle in these like deep dive jokes and see the audience really react to it. But it started off as a practical, like, wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah, I think lockdown is what gave them the opportunity to really like write the musical. But they did so much research. It's really funny because you can just turn to them and be like, oh yeah, what was the, I don't know. Like, I can't even think of a good question, but any like random NSYNC trivia thing, they will know. We will probably not know.
I feel like if you two went head to head, you would win though.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Yeah, of course.
We'd like to take our chances, I think, for certain. And obviously, this is a really unique situation where it's an all-female cast playing the roles of the guys. So what was the idea behind that?
Honestly, when I was asked to do the show, I've known Allie for about 10 years. So she sent me a text like a year and a half ago, March 2022, and said, would you like to be in an NSYNC musical? And I just like, no questions asked, was like, absolutely. But at that point, I thought it was going to be guys playing the NSYNC members. I was totally ready to play, a fan at the concert, which is who I am in real life, So I was ready for that. And then I had a Zoom meeting with them and they said, oh, no, we were thinking JC Chasez. And it was like, what?
The pressure.
Is so good. Like she is not being JC Chasez, but it's Mia's version of JC Chasez. The sexy, the sensuality that we all love from JC. Yeah, she's so good as
And
JC.
this, of course, is Joey.
I mean,
Fatone.
clearly I look like Joey, obviously.
Obviously, Joey.
Fitting image.
I believe, Valen is an incredible singer.
Mhm.
And I believe that she felt like for this round, at least, or a couple rounds, that she would be able to really embody what they wanted for Chris. And then eventually, I think Allie really took on what the angel ended up being. And I think from that, I can't really speak to it, but we're all women and we love it. Like, it's a cast of women, non-binary, same thing behind the scenes. We have the majority are women and non-binary creatives. It's really cool.
It's been really special.
Yeah, that's great. I love the fact that Valen has cast herself as Chris, as that, the founding father of the band, and she's taken on that role. It felt like there was no other option for her.
She has her hair in braids, like Chris braids, not a wig. In Edinburgh, she did it all month. This time, all month. She goes out all month.
Amazing.
How the people of London are experiencing Valen.
Yeah, I love it.
The best.
So you guys had the phone call and were told, hey, this NSYNC musical is being created. We want you to be in it. Oh my goodness, we want you to be JC Chasez. I guess, it sounds like you jumped at the chance. Was that the case for the entire cast? What made everyone want to be involved? And how did that casting process work to decide who was going to be JC, who was going to be Joey? And obviously, ultimately, you guys got those two roles.
So I'm part of their other production, which is Real Housewives of Dungeons and Dragons, which is a podcast. Wait, let me start that again. I'm part of a podcast that's called, Real Housewives. I said it right. I'm so sorry. My brain is so scattershot right now. I am part of a podcast called Real Housewives of Dungeons and Dragons, which is their other production. And I know that Riley, who plays Lance, went to school with Valen. And Riley is business partners and friends with Nicole, who plays Justin. I happened to go to school with Riley. I went to university with them. And I believe what happened is, so we were all playing Dungeons and Dragons as housewives.
Sounds amazing alone. It's a whole different subject. Sounds amazing alone.
I know. It's really stupid, which is their kind of brand of humor. And I know someone dropped out of the casting process, and that's how I came on. I believe they just asked Nicole for an audition tape. They asked someone else for an audition tape. But Riley, because they have always been so close to Valen, I think was already on board. But in terms of the other casting, it really just was like, let's just get our friends together and see what happens.
Yeah, especially our first run of the show was at the Hollywood Fringe Festival in LA, which was super fun, but it was very much like, let's just call our friends in.
It's so different than Edinburgh Fringe too. It is very, LA theater is not like looked upon as something good. So it was very much like an experiment. And I think it kind of just all came together in a very unexpected, fun way.
Yeah, and we just got really lucky because we all like fell in love with each other. Like,
100% in love with
Sounds very much like the NSYNC story, where they all knew each other in the back, like years ago from school and whatever, working together. And they have just gelled so perfectly well, and the personalities just match perfectly well. So sounds very much the same, doesn't it?
I can't wait for you to see the show. Like,
we cannot wait to see this
show on stage, and I'm beyond excited for you to come and see it.
I know, we really are.
Yeah, we're going to be front row, and so you're going to have us right in your faces, and these Easter eggs you're talking about that are littered throughout the script and the show. As you say, I'm really thinking that we're going to get that. So as a group, I'm hoping we're not going to put you off, because we're going to react to everything. We went as a group recently to watch the Trolls band together. On the first day it came out in the UK. It was a month or two ago now, wasn't it? It came out here first. I remember I was sat next to Carina, and we just kept grabbing each other every time there was, if sailing was performed, or one of the characters had, like JC's Leo necklace type. It was a shell, but something similar. We kept squealing, and I'm pretty certain we disrupted the rest of the cinema because we were getting just too overly excited about NSYNC references.
Oh my god! Yeah. Everybody else in the theater, in the cinema, was like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with these women?" But
no, we like a rowdy crowd. We're American. We want to hear it. And also, if you don't feel like being rowdy, you don't have to. But you mentioned the necklace, Mia. Do you wear a necklace?
Of course.
Our costume designer Sharon, who was like, I was doing research and I noticed that he has the same necklace in like every photo over the course of 15 years. And I was like, oh my God.
We're gonna have to wear that. Yeah.
So now it's my favorite piece of my costume.
Yeah.
So is it a replica of the Leo necklace?
It's not really a Leo necklace if you look closely, but it's like silver with the black.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm so you guys know about this. It feels like we're talking to friends, because I swear to God, I'll talk to my sister about some of this stuff and she'll be like, okay. I'll be like, but they got a necklace.
I mean, in the fandom, that necklace is iconic. It really is, isn't it? I mean, we all want to see it back, really. I think it's about time he dusts it off again and chucks it back on.
Want the necklace?
Yeah.
If he wears it with whatever comes next, and obviously we're all hopeful for what the boys do next, I think we're all going to be on the floor if he wears that, because you just won't be able to talk to us for a month.
Who do you think is holding up the reunion?
No one. The reunion is happening.
Yeah, we believe in it now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no one is holding it up anymore. I think JC was probably the one who was dragging his feet a little bit, but I think it was all based on the uncertainty of Justin being in it. And I think with Justin being full on in it, JC is full on in it. So
I believe you. I mean, like there's no doubt in my mind. Okay, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
They're back. They're coming back. The thing that we're obviously, as part of NSYNC UK Space Cowboys, which is our fandom over in the UK, is we're just trying to make sure we shout and make as much noise as possible, so that whatever it is when they come back, and we're obviously hoping it's maybe some kind of a tour and performances, we want them to make sure they come over here. If they don't, we'll be coming over and flying to the States for sure. We're not going to miss this, but we're desperate to get the boys over here. When they obviously spent a lot of time over in Europe when they first started, some of that within the UK promoting, but they've actually never toured over here. So we've never had their show.
No.
They would sell out O2 instantly, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Oh yeah, they would. I mean, not being horrible, but based on Justin's name alone, they would sell out the O2, because Justin is with them. But I think the NSYNC fans, maybe there hasn't been such a crazy fandom here, but everybody knows NSYNC and everybody would want to come and see them, just based on, all the hype, that everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, there's such a 90s nostalgia.
Yeah,
that I think you'll get the NSYNC fans, you'll get the Justin fans, you'll get the 90s and nostalgia fans coming. And like I say, something like the O2, a 20,000 capacity. I mean, that's just London. We'd love them to go. Our group's made up of girls from all across the UK, from the south to the north to the Channel Islands. And so, we'd love to get them everywhere if we can. So yes, we'll see. You mentioned, we're obviously talking about JC's Leo necklace, and as you say, that's such an iconic. Like, I feel like you'll put that on and you become JC. I guess what I want to understand
in the dressing room. I share a dressing room with her. Insufferable. She puts on that neck. I'm just kidding.
You put it on and you suddenly become this on-stage persona of hype, because there's such a difference of JC off stage to on stage that I can really imagine how you just become JC. Yeah. What did you guys do to really get into character? So aside from things like the necklace, did you study the guys' mannerisms and kind of different quirks through performances to try and, I guess, embody them?
I joined every fan page of JC's that I could find on Instagram. And just looked at all of
I just watched tours nonstop, and like any old footage I could find specifically. Well, we take the boys from when they start to when they break up, basically. But for me, what I found was most helpful was the early tour, like when they were just trying to promote themselves. I felt like you could really see their personalities.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up watching a lot of. It's also my favorite. Like they're just babies. They're so
And they're
cute.
so
Mhm.
Cute.
I just want to say, I just
Say
kind
it
of
out
want to tell
loud.
this story,
Tell
but
it. She's the best storyteller.
I'm not going to tell it well right now, but before I had any involvement in this show, I actually threw my friend JC themed bachelorette party, or hen do, as you guys would say. So my friend, who's now not my friend because of this party, don't
Which
worry
is
about it. She apparently, I thought it was our whole friendship in middle school was based on our love of NSYNC, and we saw No Strings Attached, and she was obsessed with JC, like to the point where she said she was going to marry him on May 28th, 2008. It was this huge, inside joke of our years that we referenced over and over till after 2008. And we were like, why did you want to get married? You would have been 20 years old. That would be insane, right? It was a whole thing forever. And anyway, so then she got engaged, and I threw her a JC theme, an NSYNC themed party, but specifically JC. I had a divorce certificate. I had what are those called? The Funko Pop of JC. Like
you went hard.
I went hard, okay, and I was
because
so proud
Mia
of it.
is a good friend.
I was so proud of it. I thought it was going to be amazing.
What was the
t-shirts? Everybody had shirts that said NSYNC, but hers was like the star engaged. It was so exciting. And she walked in, and I don't know why, but she was immediately embarrassed by it and like horrified. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if she thought I was like making fun of her middle school self. To me, obviously, I love NSYNC and have always loved NSYNC. So this musical gave me a chance to like repair that relationship.
It's so cute. It's such a cute idea. I would have loved that.
Thank you, Carina. Yeah. So it's just funny because I also just had so much like memory of JC from having that friend. Like literally the day that she announced she was like over her crush, a guy asked her out on a date. Like everybody knew that like she's JC's girl. So anyway,
wait, would that make her now your girl?
Yeah, I think so. No, apparently she's horrified by it. But anyway, so all this to say that there's also just so much of like just JC in my memory of like what he meant to me in middle school and like you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So JC, clearly, from what you're saying, is your favorite member of NSYNC.
Yeah.
And you happen to be playing him in the show.
I'm so happy.
Oh, perfect. Serendipitous. Is that the case for Liz and for the rest of the cast as well? Is everyone playing their favorite member, or have we got some kind of secret loves behind the scenes?
Nicole's is
not Justin.
Valen is absolutely Chris.
Now, because of the research, she's now all of us like just love Chris. And I happened to run into him at a Dave & Buster's.
Will you show the photo?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have met the guys like over at some point, right?
Oh yeah.
V has, not me.
Okay, so we're all on the group chat. And all of a sudden, in pops Mia, like, hey, I'm at Dave & Buster's. I just ran into Chriskirkpatrick. We were
after we did the show.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Look at that.
Amazing.
So sweet. I would have to say, I love Joey. I've always loved that he did Broadway and he did like not Mamma Mia, A Big Fat Greek Wedding. And like, like Joey's a family man.
Yes, he is.
I also love now seeing Joey like singing the songs and doing the choreo. Like,
oh yeah,
still got it.
He really
It
does.
is funny though seeing him in Lance dance, and Lance is so much younger, and you're just like, oh, that's youth. Like that's why the moves look better. But yeah, I love Joey. But in middle school, I would have to say like, ooh, strong JC. That's probably why we're friends.
Yes. Yes.
Strong JC. I was a big dancer, and my sister was Backstreet Boys, and I was like, they do have really good songs, but I was like, they are not performers. They are truly not like in the stratosphere of NSYNC. They don't even come close. Like, look how sloppy Kevin is. I just, yeah. But
Backstreet Boys slander. I'm here for it.
but I was in the dressing room yesterday.
I actually I made you turn it off, though.
Yeah, she did, and then we played Spice Girls.
That's the thing. Back in the day, you know, I feel like people try and downplay it now because we're all trying to be grown up and mature. But it really was that you could only support one or the other.
Absolutely.
It was.
My middle school friend group was based around that. We were the NSYNC girls, and then there was the other friend group that was we were like, oh, too bad for you. You don't
Yeah,
get
little
it.
sister Julianne. Staring.
You couldn't even secretly like the Backstreet Boys. So if you did, then you had to be quiet about it. There's no way you could say, yeah, that song's not bad or whatever. It's like, hell no, it's one or the other.
Millennium CD and being like, all right, this does kind of slap, but
yes.
I can never.
Yeah. I mean, looking back now, it's, they were great. They still are, but it's just quite not the whole package, is it? So
No.
Not at all. It's
No.
just
It was also quite an American thing, I think. So over here in the UK, we were so blessed with boy bands. Throughout that 90s and early 2000s era, you had Take That, Boyzone, Westlife, Five, 911, Blue, A1, yeah. And so I think that kind of fandom was different. So you could absolutely, so I'm a big Westlife fan as well as an NSYNC fan. You can absolutely like that, but you couldn't have more than one American boy band. That's where the line was drawn.
Yeah.
You could have, and we could use any band over here. I mean, I think lots of us are fans of all of these UK and Irish bands, but yeah, only one love from over in the States for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Go ahead.
Well, just obviously seeing that picture of you with Chris makes me think, how aware are the guys of the show? Have they been invited to see the show? Are they going to be coming over either here or anywhere else you might take it in future?
We would all love that. But I don't know. They definitely are aware of the show.
They have been invited.
They
all have been invited.
And Chris told me on that day that he wrote about the show in the NSYNC group chat.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I believe that means all 5 of them know about it.
And Chris is so sweet. He reposted, a fan took a shot of our poster and he reposted it for our London run. So they do know about it.
Mm-hmm.
They have tickets for a +1 to however many people they want to bring at us. But oh my God, could you imagine having? I would shit my pants. I absolutely would poop my pants. 100%.
And they'd all be sitting in the front row, obviously. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Pressure on you guys there.
We didn't ask you. Who are your favorite members?
JC. I mean, I'm a big Justin person, so I love all of them. I love all of them dearly, absolutely dearly. But JC is this always comes out on top somehow.
Woo! Yeah. I think that's a common thread across at least our fan group. I think out of the 11 of us, I think there's 9 JC girls, 1 Justin and 1 Chris. Yeah. If I'm right, roughly. I mean, but as Carina says, we love all the boys, and I think our fandom and our love has changed over the years. So, back in the days, when was it, 1998? If you'd asked me then, I'd have said Justin is my fave because, he was, I guess, the youngest member of the band, and I'm younger than him, so you kind of, I guess, were drawn to him through that. And then I'm still Justin fan, of course, and then with his solo work as well. But now when you look back as well, and you just we watch footage after footage. We spend every day just rewatching. We're on YouTube sharing. Yeah, have you seen this thing? And I think there's just something about JC, and I think I say that persona he had off stage versus on stage is so intriguing. And then, I mean, let's just be honest, his voice, right? There's just his voice is just, I think, one of the best boy band voices out of all those bands we're speaking about. He's, shall I say, the best?
Yep, you
voice
can
out
say
of them
that.
all?
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I'm
Okay,
with
I've
you.
said it. I've done it now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think we're big JC girls over here, aren't we? But we do love all the boys dearly. So, the marketing for your show says with very little boy band music. And obviously when we think of the boys, we think of all of our favourite songs. So we just wanted to touch on that a little bit and understand what that means. And if you could perform any NSYNC song in the show, what would it be?
Oh, what a good question. Oh man. Because I feel like my favorite NSYNC song is a different answer than what would I
Yeah.
perform in the show. Because my favorite NSYNC song is God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
but
such a good one.
it's so good. But I feel like girlfriend?
Yeah. Really?
I think
You would
it'd be
want to
so,
do
I
Girlfriend?
don't know. I just think it'd be so fun. If we could perform that, wouldn't it be fun? What, well, also, we have the most fun backstage doing just I Want You Back.
Yeah.
All the houses coming in, and we're just like across the wings from each other.
We're just
Mhm.
continually making faces because we are children. Um, I think it's gonna would be really
It's gonna
fun.
be me.
Yeah,
That would be really fun.
it would be
Yeah.
really fun. So to answer your question, there's very little boy band music. It's
Yes.
addressed in the play. Obviously, they can't get licensing for any of the NSYNC songs, so it's a commentary on that.
Mhm.
It's also Valen's musical style. I know that I think I can't actually speak to this, but her musical style is not like NSYNC. There is a song that has a boy band essence to it, but it really is more so about Chris's journey. So the
Mhm.
music kind of supports that a little bit more. But
Yeah, it's more musical theater style, like
Yeah.
pop musical theater
Yeah.
versus,
so I think, I mean, I would love more boy band music though. Can you imagine doing Bye Bye Bye? Or say Cowboys, like, digital get
Digital
down.
Get Down. That was my like sexual awakening. Right?
yeah, Mia, you'd have an interesting role in that one
Oh
if you
dear,
performed
yeah.
that.
Watching that so it to come full circle.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a bit of time in between. So when we did, I think it was this our Hollywood Fringe to last December's performance, a couple of us learned like a couple of the famous chorus moves, which are really fun. And I felt really old.
Mhm.
You guys know the dances?
No. Oh God, no. I have never even attempted it. I am just not a dancer. So yeah, I've just been listening and watching other people dance.
So
Maybe that's what I should do. So we have after parties and they're really fun. You get to hang out with the cast and
Oh, we'll be there.
Yeah, we're coming.
Yep.
maybe that's what I'll be, because I get so like I love one-on-ones like this, but big social things are harder for me. And auditory wise, it's hard for me. I have sensory issues. So maybe I'll just be in a corner trying to learn a dance. And if you can join in, please come.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
come and learn. Because I've never tried them. I know the moves. I could like step through them.
In my
but
head, I see all the
yeah.
moves like while I'm listening to. Yeah, I've never actually tried them. So
No, maybe this is the time for us to try.
probably, yeah. At the after show party, we're
There will
gonna
be
do that.
no cameras allowed in that area. How about that?
No
Yeah.
camera.
Oh, okay.
No
I think
judgment.
we're in.
Perfect. Yes.
um, we love looking at, I guess, the connections between the guys and what you bring through to the show. And one of the really iconic things that the boys do is their pre-show ritual of the hacky sack. And we want to know, do you guys do anything similar? Either do you replicate that hacky sack or do something of your own?
We would be so bad at that. Here's what we do. Before the show, we say, I got your back.
We do a sound check where we all sing a harmony. So all 5 of us a cappella sing a harmony together, which I think is really fun.
And this is not a pre-show ritual, but our favorite thing to do as a cast is play this game called Medium, which if you haven't played it, you must
Mm.
play it. It's amazing. Sponsored by Medium. It's like it's so much fun.
What is the
What is it?
called?
It's based on an improv. Well, I don't know if it was actually based on it, but it's very similar to this improv game called Mind Meld, where you and another person, you just count 3, 2, 1, and you say a word from the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, you just keep saying 3, 2, 1, and eventually you're going to say the same word.
There, let's
Oh
try.
my goodness. Go on.
Get through. No, ready? 3, 2, 1. In
Sugar.
sync.
Oh,
Okay. In sync.
seriously.
In sync and sugar. Okay, so now
I thought you were going to say that, but I was like, no, I'm very serious when it comes to games. Like I'm
okay, so now she and I have to figure out a word that's in sync and sugar.
Don't think too hard.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. JC.
That's exactly what my thought was.
You guys are better
So
at it.
anyways, you get the idea of the
That's
game.
what
Yes.
happened. Okay.
So that's one of our show rituals.
You're much
I love it.
That's such a fantastic ritual. Are you guys aware that the guys,
Started
I
going
was like, okay, I'll play the game. Yes.
and are you guys aware that the guys themselves used to play a similar game when they used to tour on the bus? But
No.
obviously without, yeah. So they used to play this game to entertain themselves where they would get in each other's face, and rather than a single word, they would say a sentence, and they'd have to try and say the same thing. There's they demonstrate it. There's a clip on or a show on YouTube of the Rosie O'Donnell show where they play this game and they show her how they do it to entertain themselves. And JC and Justin are shouting at each other. Honestly, so watching you two do
Yeah.
that is
I
identical.
see it ran around because my body could not contain it.
Honestly, get on YouTube. Rosie O'Donnell is the one where JC's sitting nearest to her. Go and watch that because they literally do the exact same thing, but 20 odd years ago.
So
Yeah,
we couldn't do hacky sack, but this makes a lot of sense.
That's what I should have said.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's so relevant. Even if you didn't realize, it's so relevant, and I love that. But
Amazing, yeah.
That's
you're
so
you're so
cool.
in sync with NSYNC that you didn't even.
Yes.
And I guess now the fact that this show's over in the UK but down to London in particular, I want to just ask you a few bits about that because obviously this is so unique to us, and it's such a thrill for us to have something NSYNC so close to home. So how are you finding London? Have you been able to get out and enjoy it and explore some touristy things?
Oh, I love London. I am having the time of my
We
life.
say that Mia is thriving here. Even her mom is like, you should live in London. This is not a joke. This is like very, she is thriving. Like, look at this. You can't look at it, but let me describe. She's glowing. She's got a high pony. Her makeup's wearing boots. Like, she is living her best life here.
Mhm.
Feel that. I'm enjoying it. I haven't gotten to do a ton of exploring but I just the like going on the tube every day. It sounds so lame. I sound
You
so
sound
American.
so American right now. I'm so cringe
But
embarrassed.
it's like it's really just I just love being here. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the touristy stuff. I mean, we're near Soho. I really enjoyed walking around there. I love seeing all the Christmas lights.
Mhm.
Don't enjoy all the crowds.
Beautiful.
Really intense for
Yeah.
me. But I'm a big book like lover, so I've been going around to different bookstores.
Yeah, I've seen your posts on Instagram. I love all those photos.
I love books, and so in America there aren't bookstores like there are in the UK, period. Like
We don't
we
read
have
in
like
America.
it would basically be like your equivalent of like a big Tesco has books.
Mhm.
And there's a Barnes and Noble and maybe some independent retailers, but it's so lovely to see everyone reading. And then yeah, I think our show is fueled by Pret.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%
Oh,
fueled
yeah.
by.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel about British food? Have you been getting into some of our classics that we have?
Yeah, we had mince pies
We
the other
did
day.
in Scotland. I mean, I had haggis. I tried
Yeah.
everything.
Oh
I
gosh.
had so much fun. I loved it. And now here, yeah,
We're
I
gonna
mean,
do I think we're supposed to do a Sunday roast dinner
mhm.
this
Oh,
weekend.
you'll love it. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Anywhere we should go? particularly?
For a Sunday roast. I mean,
Yeah.
it's when none of us are like in central London. I live in the southeast of London, and you're in the southeast. We eat locally. It's very rare that I come uptown and I actually eat out there. So yeah, and there's so every time I go up, there's new restaurants popping up everywhere, and things change. So there's very little. You went to Japes the other day to have Chicago pizza, and that's one place
That
I
was
have.
really fun.
They're really, really good. But so I've been there, but like I said, every time I'm up there, it's like different places have opened up everywhere, and I just try randomly something new that I come across. So it's hard to recommend anything because nothing seems to stay around for a long time.
Yeah.
I'd say you can't go wrong though. A classic British pub grub, and a roast dinner. If you're looking for somewhere, absolutely traditional, find a pub
Yeah,
rather than
I
a
agree.
restaurant, I'd say.
I wouldn't go to a restaurant for a British roast, for a Sunday
No.
roast. It has to be a pub, and do your research whether there's actually a home cooked roast. It'll make all the difference. I think
Yeah.
you can get to the carveries. Toby's Carvery. They do they slap it out at 10,000 roast beefs and 10,000 roast hams, and it's not quite the same as if you have it done like in a proper traditional pub.
No, and you have to go for the roast beef because that's the one that gets the Yorkshire pudding with it, and you have to have a Yorkshire pudding.
Oh yeah,
and that doesn't tend to come with the other meats unless you're lucky. So that's the recommendation.
Sunday roast at in LA at Tam O'Shatner's. It's fine. It's like everyone loves it because it's the closest we can get to. But Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, making me hungry now.
Yeah, you guys are over here, right, for Christmas because the show runs to the end of the month. So this will be your first British Christmas that you're experiencing?
Yeah, for both of us. Is there anything we should do that you'd recommend?
You should go to Winter Wonderland.
Oh yeah, you recommended that.
In Hyde Park. I mean, it's massive. I would not suggest to go at night unless you want to be squished because it gets absolutely jam-packed. You can't hardly move. If you go during the day, it's a lot more chill. There's a lot more kids during the day. In the evening, it's more adults, but it turns into a little bit of a mess at night because there's a lot of drinking and stuff like that. But if you just want to experience that atmosphere, I'd pick a sunny day and just have a little walk around it. If you go in the afternoon, it's free as well to enter. If you go in the evening, it costs £5 or something like that. But it's really nice. There's lots of food and lots of, there's sometimes live music and stuff. It's really nice to have a little walk around. It's very Christmassy, so I would definitely do it.
Yeah, and I think also in terms of food, I think you said mince pies. That's a classic. And then I think on that build up to Christmas itself, Christmas Eve again, back to the pub. That's where you've got to be on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day. Obviously, roast turkey tends to be the traditional meal over here with all the trimmings. So your roast potatoes and your veg and things, Brussels sprouts, pigs in blankets, stuffing, Christmas pudding, Christmas cake. Oh, you name it. A tub of quality streets chocolates. You've got to buy a tub of chocolates. You can't just have a bag. You have to have a tub. And usually all of them, Roses, Quality Streets, Heroes, Celebrations, buy them all. Oh, and Christmas crackers. I don't know if you guys have Christmas crackers in the States, but you have to have Christmas crackers.
Oh, you bought some? I keep seeing them. Okay.
And then, they've got the little crown inside, and you're going to have to wear them for the rest of the evening. After your Christmas meal, you have to wear the crown that comes in the Christmas cracker.
I love it.
And you have to hang chocolate on your tree. I don't know if you do that in the States either, but you have to have Christmas tree chocolate and hang the chocolate on your tree. It's special type of chocolate.
Yep.
Wonderful. I'm going to do that. My mom and my brother are flying in on Christmas Day.
Ooh, amazing.
Give them a proper British
Christmas. It's so jet lag. You're gonna be like, they'll be like, no, please.
Yeah, and you have to dream of a white Christmas, but not expect one because it never snows.
It's not going to happen. We'll get snow in February, maybe, or something. Have you guys had fish and chips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a must. British chips is like, you can't beat them. Have you had them with salt and vinegar though, or did you put ketchup on it?
Oh no, salt and vinegar.
You guys know how to do this.
and well, mushy peas. Did you have mushy peas with them?
I tried the mushy peas.
Okay, that says everything.
Yeah.
Not my favorite thing either. No.
Yeah, maybe we'll keep that over here instead.
Yeah.
How are you finding, I guess, the UK/London audience differs from the audiences you've played to in the past? Is there a difference between a UK audience?
I I feel like our greatest experience of the show so far has been in Edinburgh. Like
Mhm.
our fringe experience there was incredible. You know, we had people who really responded to the show. Um, London, what would you say?
I'd say that for London audiences are quieter. We're in a smaller, this is the smallest house we've been in. And I think it lends to an intimacy that if it's a smaller house, sometimes people don't feel comfortable clapping or laughing.
Right.
And
Mhm.
a bigger house where you feel more anonymous. But that's also had a lot of treats for us. We feel very connected to our audiences.
Mhm.
That's been really cool. Um, and then we get to do these parties after, which is really fun. So getting to connect with fans afterwards has been a real treat.
Mhm. So
Yeah, it's something that we're so looking forward to.
what kind of people are coming to your shows? Are they NSYNC fans, or is it just a really mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag. We definitely have people who are coming for a Christmas show. We have, you know, millennials who are huge NSYNC fans, and everything in between.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. I know that the theater itself is known for, I think, a little more serious fare.
Mhm.
So their typical audience has been, I think, surprised by what we bring as fully drag kings.
Mhm.
So we get some surprised faces in the audience, but eventually, like, everyone has a good time because it's in sync. Like, how can you not?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's great. I think what we'd love to know is what's next for you guys. So after the London shows come to an end, what next?
Well, what next, Mia?
You mean for the show, right?
For the show, I'm not sure. We can't speak to that because we're just the actors in it. We can ask them. I'll ask them later today for sure. I know that they're still writing. They have a bunch more projects on the docket. Uh, and of course, Real Housewives of Dungeons and Dragons is in its second season.
Mhm.
I think I don't want to say halfway through the season. It depends when you air this, but the second season is out. They're working very hard on that. I'm part of that, so I'll be doing that. And then, trying to find more acting jobs when I'm back in LA. But it's been nice to be here in London and just getting to really buckle down and do this musical. I have the most fun doing this show.
Yeah, and of course in LA, the film and TV jobs were just on strike. Now we're finally out of that strike, but definitely been a huge blessing adding that into the mix that we've been doing this, musical and a little, getting to do theater during that time has been really additionally special.
So if you want to hire either of us,
Is what we're saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's great, guys. I think we're obviously looking to wrap up now. It's been so great to have you on the show. We're so thrilled you could join us. I think what we'd just love to know is, do you have any messages that if you could say anything to Chris or the rest of the guys from NSYNC, what would be your message to the boys?
I talked to Chris. I got to do it.
I think I would say, like, thank you so much for being such a bright spot for me during a very difficult time in my adolescence. And also, when are you getting back on stage so I can give you my money? That's it.
No.
You do know that this is going to be passed along, right?
Of course. Yeah, clearly.
So, just for, oh no, I can't even say this. I can't even say this, but we have, we'll be interviewing some interesting people in later episodes. But I can't even say it at the moment.
We can cut this out.
Because then it means we'll just have to subscribe and listen on a later episode.
Absolutely, exactly.
That's spot on. Mia, Liz, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been so fantastic to get to know you guys, hear about the show, and just have you over here with us on our first ever episode. We've just obviously been saying that your run at the Seven Dials Playhouse continues into the 30th of December. So if anyone out there hasn't booked their tickets because they're crazy or something, go and book them, get them online, and yeah, we encourage everyone to come down and see you guys.
And where can we follow you online?
That's a good question, Carina.
Oh, where do we follow us? Well, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Amazon Podcasts, we're on Spotify Podcasts. You find us, it's always going to be NSYNC UK Space Cowboys. So just look for, that name and you find us on all platforms. This particular episode, I think we're hoping to release it by next week. So a little bit of editing gonna have to happen over the weekend, and then it should be out by next week. But yeah, just I think Instagram is our main kind of platform where we'll post the most kind of updates on everything. So that's where you'll see when we're actually going live with this podcast.
Oh, I can't wait.
Big fans. It'll be amazing. We're really, really looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. It's really exciting. Yeah.
And we're coming in all of our merch, so
absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna have to do that. All right then. Nice to meet you guys, and
we'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow. Can't wait for it.
Thank you so much. Right. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast. If you loved this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you'll never miss a moment of the action. And did you know you can also stream every episode the second it drops on your favourite music or podcast platform? It's that easy to stay in sync with us. And while you're at it, check out our Instagram page for all the latest NSYNC news, reaction, and announcements of upcoming episodes. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.